Hi, I'm Rama from RHD Engineering. Today I'd like to show you how to spot a fake Bosch 044 fuel pump. Now we get flooded with these. They're coming in all over the place. They're getting more and more convincing. So look, there's still a lot of very easy ways to tell the difference if you know what you're looking for. But just before we get to that, let's talk about Bosch for a minute. Now Bosch is a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company. They are huge. They don't produce things for other people. They don't produce things under license and rebadge them, or if they do, they're talking about quantities of tens or hundreds of thousands of pieces at a time. If you're a little motorsport manufacturing company of some sort and you want Bosch to make you some fuel pumps, it's not going to happen. That's the first thing to be taken into account. Now, secondly, is the price. Bosch don't sell things at suddenly half their price. They have a pricing structure. It's bottom line, that's it. In Australia, Bosch sell these straight from Bosch themselves for around $150 to $160. You're not going to get it any cheaper than that directly off Bosch, buying huge quantities at a time. So now people don't sell things for nothing. That means there's always going to be some profit, and that means that if you see any pump like this less than around, say $180 to $200, that's about the bottom line you're going to get on a good deal buying a genuine Bosch product. On the other hand, cheap Chinese ones, they usually go for around 50 bucks. So people are buying these, they're claiming they're genuine Bosch, they're selling them at 120, 130, something like that. Everyone thinks, oh, it must be genuine, it's up in that sort of price range, but I've just got a good deal. Bullshit meter should be starting to ring. It's not going to happen, okay? So just be warned. So that's the first thing we have to point out. Now, the next thing that everyone claims, the 044, is the motorsport fuel pump. Now, in some respects, that's true. It's used extensively in motorsport. It's a fantastic fuel pump, but they do actually have a genuine motorsport pump. Now, this pump has a bigger flow rate. You'll be able to see on there, it actually even says Bosch Motorsport directly on it. Now the price on these goes up substantially. These trade price from Bosch is around $600. I'm not kidding. And so if anyone's claiming they've got the Bosch Motorsport pump, it's probably one of these, or at very best a genuine Bosch 044. Now these pumps are the pumps that you'll find in all your professional level motorsport, your V8 supercars, everything like that. This is what's under there. They are designed totally for motorsport purposes. They have very strong, very durable internals. They're compatible with E85, with methanol, with all your race fuels. This is the only pump that is genuinely designed for those sorts of purposes and fuels and conditions. So look, if you're a serious motorsport racer, this is the pump you want to get. Get your wallet out. Okay, so let's move on. So first up, let's talk about the box. Okay, this is the genuine one. This is the fake one. Now you can see a couple of differences here straight away. The drawing on the genuine one is quite thin, quite faint. The fake one is much brighter. I don't know if you can see the reflection, but the fake one's got quite a glossy box. This one's a very satin, more of a genuine cardboard box. Another giveaway was the fake one came in this very Chinese looking little cardboard box. Now again, Bosch don't sell things in little cardboard boxes. They come just like this. So let's open them up and we'll move on. Okay, here we go. Once again, we've got some very typically Chinese bubble wrap. You don't see this on anything coming out of Europe, the little tiny bubbles. Okay, first clue. And then you have a pump. Okay, it looks very similar. So let's open up the other one and see what we can spot. Okay, now you'll see straight away. Looks like there's some packing fluid in there. It's a little bit oily. where this one's just in a cheap vacuum pack. There's no fluid or oil inside. So let's open them up. To look very closely, there's nothing stamped or written on the packet. If you look very closely at the genuine one, you can see here there's a looks like a date, and it says Bosch, and looks like another code of some sort. So there's some stamping written on the genuine one. Fake one, we've just got this cheap vacuum pack. Okay, so let's open up the Bosch one. Okay, so now when we take the Bosch one out of the bag, can't see in the video obviously, but there's a very distinctive smell of light machine oil. You know, obviously the fluid they put in this bag is oily, so that's another clue that you have a genuine one. Okay, so let's start at the top. Let's take the covers off. Straight away we can see some differences here. The fake one has little tiny holes and a sort of a parallel shank. The Bosch one has this little groove here. It also has larger holes. And moving down we can see the thickness. The nut's very thin on this one, much thicker on the fake one. The washers are very thin. You can see the genuine one has nice thick washers on here, and also the body of the check valve. There's this big parallel part at the top here. It's obviously quite a lot longer than the one on the Chinese one. So straight away we're finding lots of differences. Something else is the Bosch ones all have a QC mark on them. There'll be one on the side here, or sometimes on the bottom. There's always one on the indentation. You can see there's also another one here and another one on the top here. Obviously the Chinese ones have no mark on them. They don't have quality control. Now let's move down to the terminals. We can see the Bosch one has a little nut, part of the terminal that protrudes above the plastic. So obviously when you bolt the wire onto it, the terminal, it'll be bolted hard against that that little base there. Where look, the Chinese ones, that base is actually down inside the plastic there, so your terminal's not even going to be touching that. Straight away, if I was bolting it on, I would want my terminal to be captured on both sides and make a good connection. So one more little aspect. Now if you look very closely, you can see these little plus and minus signs here for the polarity of the connections. On the sides here there's a defined edge where the symbol meets the radius of the casting. It's quite obvious on the genuine one. If we move to the fake one, you can see that it just goes straight at the edge here. The casting just carries straight on up to the symbol. You can see on the side very obviously where they've just extracted it out straight. And also just the general quality of the casting. Look, this one's got a very rough, shiny surface finish. You know, there's some sort of oxidation marks and stuff on it. You can see the quality is just not the same as this one, which has got a very smooth, very industrial grey type finish. So now we can also see that this one isn't completely closed. There's obviously a decent rubber seal in there. And the thickness of the metal is noticeably thicker if you take a close look to this one. You can see this one's pulled up tight all the way around. We've obviously got a much smaller or less thickness on the seal. The metal is very thin. It's sort of been rolled right over. Now this is probably one of the most obvious marks that you can spot from looking at photos on websites and things like that. You can see this big heavy machining rolling mark around the edge here. Now that's a really easy way to tell at a glance a genuine one from a fake one, because the genuine ones, there's no mark. See, it's just a smooth rolled indentation there. They obviously have a different process, so a lot of people are claiming, oh, we get them made by Bosch, they just put our label on them, it's under license. It's all bullshit. Have a look for that little machining mark. If that machining mark is there, it's a Chinese pump. That's all there is to it. So there we go. There's a lot of things we've found already, but let's keep going. Next thing to look at is the indentations. You can see the genuine one has quite a heavy indentation. They've obviously got lots of thickness in the housing. They can roll the stamping on there quite heavily, whereas the fake one, it's very shallow. It's just obviously on the surface. Another sort of minor difference that can be spotted. Now if we take the caps off, now this used to be a way to tell. You can see that the fake one still has a helicoil in there, so don't let anyone fool you into thinking that just because it's got the helicoil that it's a real one, because there we have it, a certified Chinese fake with a helicoil. And we all know that the genuine one should have one in here too. There we go. Again, the difference, we have some light oil to protect it. So obviously the Chinese one was completely dry. They don't have any fluid like that. Looking up inside, looks very similar. Possibly the machining on this one's a bit rougher. I can see a bit of sort of roughness around the edge where they've cut the thread, but no substantial difference other than that. You can see there's a bit of oil on the cap there, obviously to protect everything. So there we go, there's some differences. We've got one more thing to check, and it's the weight. So let's see what they weigh. Okay, so let's weigh the genuine one. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got 1019. That's in grams, and the fake one 1064. So the fake ones are actually heavier than the genuine ones, but like I say, all Bosch fuel pumps are made in the same factory. They don't make variations, they don't change their design. So if that's the weight that your fuel pump is, generally chances are it's a genuine one. If it's any other weight, chances are it's a fake one. So let's weigh the Bosch Motorsport one, see how that compares. There we go, same weight, give or take a gram. Okay, so there you have it, how to spot genuine Bosch Motorsport fuel pumps, genuine 044 performance fuel pumps, and cheap Chinese knockoffs. A couple other little things to mention. If your fuel pump came with these, Bosch doesn't supply fittings and bits and pieces. It's definitely a Chinese knockoff. Something else, you can see the, I mean, it's very close, but the Chinese one, you see it's not folded properly. It's a slightly different colour. See, look, they haven't even folded it where the edges of the writing is. whereas the genuine one's a nice neat little pamphlet. All comes apart like that. So a couple of last little details. Okay, well there you have it, how to spot fake fuel pumps. So look, please share this as much as you can. We need to get the word out. There's far too many people who've been getting ripped off, buying these cheap pumps, being told they're genuine. And look, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they'll fail. The Chinese stuff just isn't reliable. Bosch stuff will last for years and years. 10 years later, it'll still be going strong. You know, that's not going to happen if you buy a cheap product, and when it goes, it's going to take your engine with it, chances are. So, you know, pay the extra $100, buy from a certified dealer. Look, Bosch doesn't sell to small guys, believe me, I've tried. You know, you have to have a sizable turnover to even approach Bosch. So, you know, stay away from eBay. And the same goes with people that claiming that their pumps, you know, they might paint them a pretty color black or whatever, claim that they're made by Bosch. It's all just bullshit. They just come from probably the same factory in China. They put their paint job on it and they charge you an extra $100, but all you're getting is still a cheap knockoff. So anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching.